Hello, I am Xarkun, this is World of Warships Legends, and today I bring you a video on the newly buffed Tier 7 American cruiser, Baltimore. Playing on the map North here, Domination Mode. I'll talk a little bit about the Baltimore's buff, and then I'll probably just spend the rest of the time calling the game as it happens, because the game does end up being a pretty good game. One of the better games that I've had in the Baltimore. Anyway, with the newest buff, the Baltimore now has the 26mm bow armor, which, you know, some people have said before that the Baltimore is the best Tier 7 cruiser, and I'm not sure that I agree with that, given that we have things like Edinburghs, Mogamis, and Chapayevs, but the Baltimore, before its buff, was, I don't want to say a distinctly mediocre cruiser, but a rather unexciting one. Now, after its buff, I think it's actually up there. It's a pretty great cruiser, and it plays exactly the way that I always thought it should. Kind of like a mini battleship. Maybe not a mini battleship. I mean, that kind of makes it sound like it's small. And it's not small, the ship is fairly gigantic. But like a battleship with very light armor and very small, by battleship standard, guns. Now it can bow tank actual battleships with 15-inch guns. That is something it couldn't do before, and that is a very significant bonus. And that's really all there is to say about the update. Now we were trying to dodge a shot from the Vladivostok. Looks like 2 shells hit us for about 7k, which isn't the end of the world, but it's also not exactly desirable. So we're gonna need to move up by this mountain here, put it between ourselves and the Vladivostok, so he does not continue to have access to our broadside. Although, actually, we probably didn't even need to do that, because if you noticed, we dropped spot. I don't know if that's because of the mountain or not, but the Baltimore is actually a fairly stealthy cruiser, and if you use a level 16 Gunichi Mikawa as an inspiration, its detectability range is somewhere in the 10-kilometer range, which is excellent. Now, here's the second citadel on that enemy Kutuzov out there, and he's still presenting a flat broadside to me, so maybe the third citadel will persuade him to turn and not do that? Yes, okay. So it only took 3. We're gonna shoot at this other Kutuzov out there who is starting to turn, and there we spot a Kagero, who is not in a good position. He's laying smoke. I've switched to the HE here, and he's actually so close that my secondaries are firing at him. First set of torpedoes is going to miss. I use this little part of the island here to shield myself from his torpedoes, but he is starting to sail forward so he can get an angle on me to launch torpedoes, and I probably need to maybe start reversing here any moment. But I do take out the Kagero, and I don't start reversing. Bit of a potato moment on my part. There are the torpedoes, and had I started reversing a little bit earlier, I would have had a better chance of missing all of them. As it stands, one does hit me for 16k, and, you know, that hurts. But gonna maintain my position here in the Alpha Cap. I would like to secure it for my team, and I am going to sail forward to try to get an idea of what's around that corner. 47,000 damage done now, by the way. And I spot probably the worst possible thing that I could spot, the Vladivostok approaching my position. Looks like we might be able to secure this cap before he enters it, though, yes. So at least that part is a success. But now we're going to have to back off because this this Vladivostok does have 16-inch guns, and they can punch through the Baltimore's bow. I'm trying to angle a little bit. It's possible that you might be able to bounce one, or that maybe they wouldn't do citadel damage at this kind of angle. I'm not sure, but he's not really aiming at me. His guns are pointed forward. I don't know if he spotted the destroyer or if he was just looking at the torpedoes as they came toward him, because he doesn't have the gun lock feature on his controller setup. Anyway, he took a nasty hit there from the friendly destroyer, and there are more torpedoes coming his way, which is good for me because now there's a Richelieu approaching me from behind. So I need to start going forward now so I don't, expose my broadside to his 15-inch guns. That's not going to end well. And right there, you see he's very close. Probably dodged a bullet. Enemy Scharnhorst up ahead. He only has 11-inch guns, so I think I'd be more willing to take my chances with him than the Richelieu at this point, since I only have just over 14,000 hit points, 15. I'm pretty low on health. Don't necessarily want to tangle with a Richelieu with that much health, because of course I don't have torpedoes. Now, another enemy Kutuzov out there, giving flat broadside. He's going to pay for that in spectacular fashion. I think that was about 16k there in a single salvo from the Baltimore's incredible AP. So, there's still one more Kutuzov left. He's sitting in smoke. Do you think he's broadside? Nope. Good job. But, we're going to open fire on him here. Decent armor penetration there. And I guess he felt sorry for me. He thought 104,000 damage is not enough for Xarkun to do in this video. We need to turn broadside, make sure he can do all the damage. Maybe this right here is why some people asked Wargaming to buff the Kutuzov or give it a heal. It is squishy, and it turns out if you present the broadside of a squishy cruiser to the Baltimore, you're gonna be in huge trouble, even if you do launch torpedoes, because the Baltimore has hydroacoustic search, and when I'm paying attention, I can see them coming in enough time to dodge them. So the Kutuzov goes down. So now it's just the enemy Scharnhorst left in this area of the map. We've successfully pretty much cleared away all of the opposition at the Alpha Cap. And, we're working on this Scharnhorst. He is doing the right thing to his credit, which is shooting HE at my bow. HE doesn't really care how thick my bow is if it's coming from big enough guns. Speaking of big guns, the 203mm Baltimore guns with the excellent American AP shell characteristics can absolutely land some devastating strikes on the superstructure of German battleships like that. That was a nice way for the Scharnhorst to go down. 143,000 damage done, 4 kills, 10 citadels. And you might be thinking to yourself, with 4 kills, we're in Kraken territory and there are 2 ships left. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not going to be able to shoot at either of those 2 ships. So that's all I'm going to do, really, for the remainder of this battle, except I think maybe I do end up capping the Bravo cap just for the fun of it. But I get 3,800 base XP for it, so that's pretty good. And, you know, the Baltimore now, I think, is a pretty strong ship. If you haven't played it since before the update, maybe take it out now, and you might find that it is quite a bit of fun. Anyway, I think we'll end things there. Cut to the results screen for those of you who want to see it. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.